Hello guys, thanks for joining this session. In this session, we are going to discuss about window function. So let's jump into the Jupyter Notebook to understand this concept. So we are into the Jupyter Notebook. Now let's understand what actually the window function is. So whenever we do the time series analysis, on that time it is very much important to do the analysis on periodic data. So what actually the periodic data is? So the periodic data is nothing but the data which is based upon dates. So on that time, to analyze the periodic data, we generally use window functions. And in pandas we got two kind of window functions. The first one is the rolling and the second one is expanding. And in this session we will look what actually the window is. So to understand it, let's generate some periodic data, and this time I am going to randomly generate daily periodic data for one of the Fixious stock, and this periodic data contains the stock price of that particular Fixious company. So let's do it. So we will start again with importing first pandas as PD, and we are going to generate some of the Fixious data. So we need NumPy. So I'm going to use NumPy as NP and shift enter over here. So now let's generate the periodic data. So to do that, first I'm going to create a price, a stock price. To generate the stock price, I'm going to use random np.random.randn, and I want only 10 price and only one column. So I'm going to specify over here 1, and then I'm going to also generate days, that is going to contain the date range. So I'm going to use pd.date underscore range, and over here I will specify some Fixious date for which it is being generated, and I want 2010, and over here I will specify periods. I want only for 10 days. Once it is being done, the next step I'm going to create the data frame. So I will tell it over here df equal to pd.data frame, and within that I'm going to specify price, that is here, and index is going to be our days. So I will specify over here index equal to days, and we will also tell that columns. So column I am going to have only single column, that is going to be a stock price. Now do shift enter, but prior to that let's print this data frame as well, and you will see that we have generated a periodic data on which we are going to do analysis, or say basically we understand the functionality of Windows function. So first of all, let's understand what actually the window is. So basically window is nothing but the range between the day. For example, if I'm telling that window 1, so that means the price between this date to next date. So that is a window 1. So let's understand it with a diagram. So let me take the snapshot of this. So I'm going to take the snapshot and let's understand it over here. So suppose if I am telling that window 1, so that means it is going to be this range. If I am going to tell that window 2, so this is going to be window 1, and if I am going to tell window 2, that means it will take these two values, and same way if I will tell that window 3, then it will keep 3 value, and the fourth one is this is the range window 3. So now we understand that what actually the window is, but what actually the usage of this window functions is. So basically window functions are majorly used in finding the trends within the data graphically by smoothing the curve. So as we most of people know that whenever we do investment by identifying their trends. So Windows function will help us to identify those trends. And as I already mentioned that pandas offers us two variety of, or say two flavor of window function. One is rolling, another one is expanding. So let's understand that. But prior to learning the rolling and expanding function, so let's understand some of the data analysis which we do on stock price. So here I want to calculate daily change in the price for this particular stock. So how we can do that? So to do the calculation, we need to identify previous day's price. So let's introduce a column which will hold the information about previous day price. So how we can do that? Let's look into that. So here I'm going to introduce a column called previous price. So let's do it, prev price, and then I need to specify df dot, there is a method called shift. So this shift method will gives us the previous stock price from the given column. So here you should specify the column name over here. So I'm going to specify that is going to be stock price, and here within shift I'm going to mention 1. Now do shift enter. So now let's look into the data frame, shift enter. Then you will find that it has given us the previous day's price. Now let's calculate the change within the price. So how we will do that? So let's look into that. To do that, I am going to use over here, I will tell that daily return. So df, I'm going to introduce another column that will hold us what is the change in the price. So I will call it as daily underscore return, and within that I will specify the stock price that is being divided with the previous price which we have calculated. We will mention over here, and the name is prep price, rev underscore price minus 1. So this formula will return us the daily return. So let's look into that. I will specify df again over here, and you will see it over here. This is the daily return, and this is the change of the price which we will calculate it with the help of these operations. So first we have calculated the change in the price, or say calculated the lag. Then afterwards we have calculated the change with the help of this formula. Now it has returned the daily return. So now let's proceed further. So now we will use the expanding window function as well as rolling window function. So how we can use it? So let's do that. So this time I am going to calculate the expanding mean. To calculate the expanding mean, I am going to first introduce a column called expand mean, and over here I am going to use data frame, and this I am going to do the expanding mean, which we will do the calculation on daily returns. So let's do it. I'm going to specify over here the column name on which we are going to do the expanding operation. So daily return dot, there is a method which is being offered within pandas called expanding. You should specify over here, I want to calculate the mean over here. So let me specify that mean, and now do the shift enter. Then you will find that it has calculated the expanding mean. So this way we have calculated the expanding mean. If you are confused about the expanding term, don't worry, I am going to introduce another course where I am doing exclusive time series analysis. Then on that time I will explain this concept expanding. For a time being, you just consider that it is one of the Windows operation, or say Windows function of pandas, which we generally use with the date dataset. And here in this session I just want to introduce the concept of Windows function, and I don't want to confuse you initially with these jargons, as it is falling into some advanced concept that I am going to cover in time series data analysis, that is a separate course. Same way you can do the calculation of rolling mean. So how you will do that? Let's look into that. So over here you need to specify, I am going to calculate rolling mean. So I will specify over here, I want to calculate mean for 3 days. So I need to specify over here df, and then I need to specify the column name on which I am going to apply the rolling mean. Return daily return dot rolling on 3 days. So that means it will calculate the price, whatever daily returns. So all these value it will be calculating over here. It will sum this value and divide by 3, because it is 3 days rolling data. So that's the reason I have specified over here 3. So I want to calculate the mean of these 3 values, and here I need to specify mean. Now specify df, shift enter, and you will see that it has calculated the rolling mean. And here you are seeing that the nan value, because we are taking the 3 values and which is not available, earlier days value is not available, that the reason it is returning nan over here, and after these 3 values it is calculating. So this is all about window functions of pandas, and this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in this session. See you in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care.